In the sun-scorched heart of Africa lies a land where predator and prey are separated by a single breath. Masai Mara, the wild heart of Kenya, serves as the stage for one of the world's most spectacular natural events. The Great Migration. More than 1.5 million wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles begin a life-or-death journey across parched grasslands. Crocodile-infested rivers and lion hunting grounds. This is not merely a movement. It is a living map of survival instincts. Each year, Kenya's ecosystem awakens when flamingos descend onto alkaline lakes, and buffalo, elephants, and giraffes return to the plains. Nature does not pause. In Masai Mara, the weak have no second chances. This is Kenya, a place where you do not just witness nature, you feel the primal rhythm of life itself. As the rainy season ends, the Serengeti grasslands become desolate. Water sources dry up, vegetation withers. Over 1 million wildebeest are forced to begin their migration north. The journey stretches up to 1,100 miles. Close behind, nearly 200,000 zebras follow, forming the largest land migration in Africa. This is not a journey of choice. It is a matter of survival. Yet the herds continue toward Masai Mara, where green pastures and the last cool waters of the season still remain. Wildebeest graze on short grass. Zebras prefer taller blades. Because of this, the two species coexist without fierce competition for food. To reach their destination, the herds must face a deadly obstacle, the Mara River. Beneath its murky surface, Nile crocodiles lie hidden in silence. They do not chase, they wait. When the wildebeest and zebras plunge into the river, chaos erupts. Powerful and sudden strikes prevent many individuals from ever reaching the opposite bank. Top predators of the Serengeti lie in wait. Lions position themselves at narrow crossing points, targeting the weak or isolated. Cheetahs depend on speed. Their ability to accelerate within seconds allows them to overtake young or vulnerable prey. In just a few moments, a chase can end in death. The Great Migration is more than seasonal movement. Each animal must constantly adapt, assess, and react to survive. The Great Migration is not only remarkable for the sheer number of animals. Each wildebeest hoof churns the topsoil, burying nitrogen-rich dung into the root zone. This process stimulates grass regrowth after rain. Masai Mara, the northern extension of the Serengeti. Acacia and themata grasses grow thick, sustaining three primary herbivores: wildebeest, zebras, and Thompson's gazelles. However, grass coverage depends entirely on two main rainfall periods. Elephants and buffalo compress old grass, clearing space for new shoots. This multi-layered regulation enables Mara to support the highest predator density in Africa. The main threat is land-use conflict. During the dry season, encounters increase. Some lead to retaliatory actions by local communities. Just a few grasslands away, the 3,300-pound black rhino plays the role of the savanna's bulldozer. Its undeniable strength lies in muscle power and horns. The front horn, which can grow up to 4 feet long, is used to intimidate lions and break thorny acacia branches. Thick skin with multiple layers of fibrous tissue protects it from claws and toxic thorns. Though giraffes and rhinos do not compete for food, they shape the vegetation at 2 different layers. Giraffes prune tall canopies, limiting dense shade. Black rhinos trim lower acacia shrubs, creating corridors for Thompson's gazelles and impalas. This combined effect keeps the savanna open and reduces wildfire risk. When either species declines, bush encroachment accelerates and grasslands for migratory herds shrink. Ambosli National Park, where wetlands meet dry savanna, is one of the last strongholds for large herds of African forest elephants. African forest elephants are the largest land mammals alive today. They can reach heights of up to 13 feet and weigh over 12,000 pounds. Their long, curved tusks allow them to break branches, dig for water, and access underground food sources. Elephants in Ambosli move in family groups, usually led by older females. On average, one adult consumes around 300 pounds of vegetation per day, including leaves, branches, bark, and roots. By consuming such large amounts, especially during prolonged droughts, elephants are forced to move into surrounding farmlands. Across the grasslands between the Mara River and the Esoteria escarpment, southern African lions hold the apex position in the food chain. An adult male weighs approximately 500 pounds and measures nearly 10 feet in length. Their large bodies allow them to withstand kicks from wildebeest or buffalo. And strong shoulder muscles. This structure offers strategic advantages. Females coordinate hunting. Males defend territory. Cubs benefit from shared nursing within the group. However, group living also exposes the pride's location through roars and scent markings. In lion hunting strategy, patience and coordination matter more than speed. Lions can sprint up to 35 miles per hour, but only over short distances of 65 to 100 feet. Their strength lies in clear role division: chasers, blockers, and attackers. If the grassland is too open or wind shifts and carries their scent, the pride must abandon the ambush and search for a new setup. A male's body temperature rises twice as fast as a female's during the same exertion. As a result, once a kill is made, feeding order unfolds quickly. Males consume the head, neck, and shoulders. Cubs fight for softer meat. Even with group feeding, a pride consumes only about 60% of a carcass. The remainder is left to vultures and hyenas, reducing the risk of disease from rotting remains. This creates an indirect ecological benefit: biomass recycling and nutrient transfer to lower trophic levels. Lion prides must expand their territory, leading to confrontations with neighboring groups. Spotted hyenas are often labeled as scavengers, but in reality, they are active and efficient predators. The physical structure of a spotted hyena is optimized for endurance and survival in harsh environments. This ability allows them to pursue prey over extended ranges, exhausting the target before delivering a final attack. Female hyenas are larger and stronger. Weighing up to 160 pounds, while males range from 88 to 120 pounds. Females lead in hunting, territorial defense, and reproduction. Large clans may consist of up to 80 individuals, with leadership passed down through generations. During hunts, spotted hyenas often operate in small groups of 2 to 6 individuals. They rarely confront strong prey directly. Instead, they target calves, the elderly, or the weak. Once a target is selected, they do not rush the attack. They pursue it persistently. Their advantage is not in bursts of speed, but in the ability to stay close and wear the prey down. The most dangerous weapon of the spotted hyena is not its claws or speed, but its powerful jaws. Their bite force exceeds 1,100 psi, strong enough to crush large bones. Spotted hyenas can consume nearly an entire carcass. Hyenas quickly process the remains. Hyenas must spend more time and energy securing full meals. In areas with high predator density, hyenas must remain constantly active to maintain access to food. However, their defensive capability is limited. When facing larger or more numerous opponents, hyenas often retreat and surrender the food. Within the broader savanna ecosystem, spotted hyenas are not only resilient predators. On the thorny grass plains of the Masai Mara, leopards are masters of camouflage. Their yellow coats, covered in blurred rosette patterns, distort body outlines and allow individuals to lie flat beside footpaths undetected by passing antelope herds. Their second strength lies in compact muscle structure. Leopards can reach speeds up to 40 miles per hour, but rarely maintain it for more than 260 feet. Climbing ability makes leopards the only cats on the savannah that can successfully store their kills. A 130-pound leopard can drag a 330-pound antelope up into the high branches of an acacia tree, beyond the reach of hyena jaws and lion claws. This aerial storage preserves the energy invested in hours of hunting and allows the leopard to feed over multiple sessions, reducing the need to return to dangerous ground. Leopards rely on vegetation up to human waist height to approach unseen. When grasslands are burned or trampled by livestock, the open space reveals their location from afar, weakening their ambush strategy. This is a habitat limitation. On the open grasslands of Masai Mara, cheetahs represent the peak of speed and precision in the predator world. No land animal matches their velocity. Cheetahs are built for rapid acceleration and short-term balance. Light bone structure, lean muscles, long legs, and a flexible spine allow them to cover strides of up to 23 feet during full sprints. Their semi-retractable claws, unlike lions or leopards, provide better grip on the ground, enhancing thrust during critical chases. However, cheetahs have extremely limited chase windows. They typically pursue prey for only 20 to 30 seconds. They launch a sprint too fast for prey to react. They primarily target Thompson's gazelles, young wildebeest, or zebra foals. After a successful takedown, cheetahs cannot linger. They must drag the carcass into cover and eat quickly. The risk of theft by hyenas or lions is constant. This is their clearest weakness. Unmatched speed, but no ability to defend against stronger predators. Socially, cheetahs follow a unique structure. Males often live in small groups called coalitions, usually consisting of 2 or 3 brothers. Females, by contrast, live alone and only stay with their cubs during the nursing phase. However, Cub protection remains a major vulnerability. On the Masai Mara savanna, not all predators are the same. Each species uses different strategies and targets different groups of prey. Lions focus on large prey, such as African buffalo, adult wildebeest, or strong zebras. Their advantage lies in powerful attacks and control over large prey. However, they expend a great deal of energy and are heavily affected by weather and terrain conditions. Leopards do not rely on group strength. They hunt alone, usually targeting small antelope or isolated individuals. Leopards use camouflage and tree climbing ability to conceal kills after the hunt. And when injured or confronted by larger competitors, leopards have little means of defense. Cheetahs take an entirely different approach. They rely on rapid acceleration to take down prey quickly. They do not need long ambushes. Speed is their clear advantage, but if the chase lasts too long or fails, they quickly lose strength and opportunity. They are also vulnerable to having their kills stolen due to poor defensive capability. Spotted hyenas operate more flexibly. With jaw strength capable of crushing bone and cartilage, they consume nearly every part of a carcass. However, their ability to hunt alone is low and often requires large group numbers to overpower prey. The division of roles among predators helps reduce direct competition and keeps prey populations balanced. If one predator species disappears, this structure becomes unstable. Young antelope populations can increase rapidly, preventing grasses from regrowing. In the Masai Mara food web, predators are not just superior survivors. They are structural regulators that keep the ecosystem from tipping. In the rising thermal layers above the Masai Mara, white-backed vultures glide using wingspans up to 5 feet, barely needing to flap. Once at altitude, their cone-rich vision scans ground areas several miles wide, searching for dull fur or fly clusters, both reliable signs of a fresh carcass. Long-distance vision and efficient soaring are their first key strengths. The white patch on their back is not ornamental. It helps individuals identify each other within mixed vulture groups. Their slightly curved, sharp beaks specialize in opening the belly, the softest part of an antelope carcass. This gives larger vultures access to bones and deeper muscle. This decomposition sequence is vital to savanna health. Soft tissue disappears early, giving flies fewer chances to lay eggs. Vultures clean and fertilize the land, two ecological roles rarely performed by a single species. Despite these advantages, white-backed vultures have critical vulnerabilities. First, they depend entirely on large animal carcasses. When lion or hyena populations decline, food scarcity is immediate. Grevy's zebra is one of the most iconic species adapted to survival in Kenya's semi-arid ecosystems. Its large body and dense black and white striping make it highly visible, yet it possesses key biological traits that allow it to thrive in harsh conditions. Its most distinct adaptation is water independence. Unlike zebras from wetter grasslands, Grevy's zebra can go several days without drinking. Its internal water retention and efficient thermoregulation help it withstand prolonged droughts better than most hoofed species. This is a clear advantage in a climate increasingly defined by extreme heat and dryness. Grevy's zebras also have a digestive system suited to processing coarse, nutrient-poor grasses. A large gut allows for slow fermentation, extracting maximum energy from plant matter that other herbivores often ignore. This reduces direct competition during periods of food scarcity. Their sensory system is also highly developed. Large ears detect distant sounds and help with heat dissipation. Their narrow and dense body stripes scatter light, making them harder for predators to detect. These features enhance their chances of survival in exposed, open terrain. Despite these advantages, Grevy's zebras face significant challenges. Their large bodies require expansive grazing areas, yet these grasslands are shrinking due to livestock encroachment. When water and forage are taken over, they must travel farther daily, raising the risks of predation, exhaustion, and reproductive decline. Their habitat is also vulnerable to long-term drought. When dry seasons wipe out both water and old grasses, individuals weaken rapidly. Though less common than poaching of elephants or rhinos, Grevy's zebras are still targeted where anti-poaching enforcement is weak. Standing above the acacia canopy, the reticulated giraffe towers over the gray-yellow backdrop of the semi-arid savanna. Its orange-brown patches bordered by white lines create a distinct geometric mesh. With an average height near 16 feet and a neck almost 6 feet long, it can reach foliage beyond the grasp of antelope or zebras. Its purple tongue, nearly 12 inches long, has a rough surface and flexible motion. It can strip thorny acacia leaves without damaging the tissue, allowing access to food with little competition. Each adult consumes about 65 to 75 pounds of leaves per day. This maintains its 1-ton mass without defoliating branches. By tip pruning, they are most active during early morning and late afternoon, foraging while sunlight is mild. They retreat to sparse shade when temperatures exceed 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Their drought tolerance is both strength and weakness. They can go 3 to 4 days without drinking. But when dry spells last a month, distances to water holes double, and older or younger individuals weaken quickly. Predators often target calves or sick individuals, helping maintain a strong population. Reticulated giraffes rarely form tight-knit herds. Groups of 3 to 9 individuals merge and separate while moving between acacia clusters. This fluid structure allows them to share wide feeding areas, but reduces group defense when lionesses hunt in coordination. Newborn calves, though nearly 6 feet tall, are vulnerable in thorny brush. Their survival depends on acacia-covered density and local lion population. Giraffes rely on continuous tree cover for safe movement and nutrient access. When corridors are fragmented, they must cross open ground, exposed to heat and increased predation risk, raising risks of calf injury on rough terrain. However, when acacia stands remain intact, giraffes become quiet ecosystem architects. They trim tall canopies, open sunlight gaps, and support ground grasses. Their fur catches and spreads acacia seeds across the savannah. In the hardened savannah of eastern Kenya, a slender figure moves through low acacia thickets, the Giraffe. Standing less than 3 feet tall at the shoulder, with a long neck, narrow dorsal stripe, and thin legs, it resembles a natural antenna rising above the gray-yellow grass. Its primary advantage is the ability to stand upright on its hind legs. By bracing the rear hooves and drawing its front limbs together, it balances using back muscles and gains nearly 18 inches of reach. In the semi-arid grasslands of eastern Kenya, the Somali ostrich leaves sparse tracks across scorched earth. Low shrubs and sparse grass do not obstruct its line of sight, offering ideal conditions for detecting threats from afar. It can stand over 5 feet tall and weigh up to 230 pounds. Powerful thigh muscles and long Achilles tendons are key physical advantages. They live in pairs or small groups. During the breeding season, flocks may grow to several dozen individuals. Their nests are shallow scrapes in the ground with no special lining. This nesting strategy is simple but effective, if not disturbed. Their reproductive strategy is unique. Several females lay eggs in the same nest. The dominant male incubates the eggs at night, while females take turns during the day. This rotation provides continuous protection for the clutch. However, the exposed location makes the nest vulnerable to predators and human activity. If eggs are trampled or removed, the entire breeding cycle is disrupted. Another threat is habitat loss from expanding agriculture. Fences, roads, and livestock disrupt movement corridors between feeding grounds and shelter zones. Despite these pressures, the Somali ostrich shows strong adaptive capacity. Its speed, keen senses, efficient digestion of dry matter, and shared incubation model are four key traits that support survival in harsh environments. However, these strengths are not enough to compensate for habitat fragmentation, rising temperatures, and increasing human pressure. Movement corridors must remain intact, and egg collection must be limited. These are simple but essential steps to ensure the continued presence of this bird in the sun-baked lands of Eastern Africa. In one of Kenya's driest regions, the dromedary camel moves slowly across heated sand. Its body can reach 6'5" feet in height and weigh over 1,500 pounds. Yet its steps leave little imprint. Its wide, flat feet distribute pressure. The camel can continue walking for several more days without food, greatly extending its foraging radius in regions with almost no year-round greenery. Camels can digest thorny acacia leaves and coniferous shrubs. Mount Kenya rises over 16,400 feet, forming one of the most unique and complex highland ecosystems in Africa. Dense forests on the mountain slopes act as a critical biological buffer. Each elevation zone forms a distinct corridor for specific species groups. This separation reduces direct competition and allows coexistence within limited space. The Mount Kenya ecosystem is irreplaceable for both wildlife and people across East Africa. The Great Rift Valley stretches for hundreds of miles across northern Kenya, forming a deep fracture between two tectonic plates. Millions of years of geological movement have shaped a chain of lakes, each with unique features unlike any other. The greater kudu is one of the most prominent animals living near Kenya's alkaline lakes, especially around Nakuru and Bogoria. This is a large antelope species, with adults standing up to 63 inches tall and weighing nearly 660 pounds. Males are distinguished by long spiral horns that can reach up to 59 inches. These horns serve as a primary identification feature and are used in mating contests between rival males during the breeding season. In terms of feeding behavior, greater kudus do not graze heavily like some other antelope species. They primarily feed on leaves, shoots, and high branches. When needed, they can stand on their hind legs for short periods to reach tender branches, especially useful during the dry season when lower vegetation is depleted. Preserving their habitat means protecting a vital transition zone between forest and lake ecosystems, where wildlife can only survive if ecological conditions remain intact. In the moist grasslands surrounding Nakuru, Naivasha, and adjacent wetlands, African buffalo form a rare spectacle. Hundreds of muscular bodies moving together, spraying mist and soil with every step. Adult males can reach lengths of 10 to 11 feet, stand over 5 feet tall at the shoulder, and weigh between 1,750 and 2,000 pounds. Placing them among the most powerful hoofed mammals on the continent. Their most distinctive feature is the fused horn base. Each horn curves outward, then rises sharply, spanning over 3 feet across. This weapon determines dominance within the herd. The herd structure is their second advantage. Most of the time, females lead the group. Older or injured males separate into small bachelor units near the swamp. When danger arises, the herd contracts quickly. Calves are shielded in the center. The outer ring is formed by the strongest individuals. This wall of horns strategy deters leopards and forces lions to target stragglers or the weak. However, water dependence is a major constraint. Unlike antelope that can tolerate dryness, buffalo lose 2 to 2.5 gallons of water daily through respiration and sweat. It turns lake edges into prime ambush zones for lions. During the dry season, when lakes shrink, predator encounters increase sharply. Their muscular strength allows buffalo to strike back. A sideways horn thrust can break a lion's rib, forcing the pride to coordinate precisely and usually target calves or weaker individuals. This maintains high adult survival rates and prevents predator pressure from overwhelming the grassland's carrying capacity. Despite their strengths, buffalo face 2 major ecological vulnerabilities. Shared water holes accelerate the spread of anthrax, foot-hand-mouth disease, and lumpy skin disease. Herds are forced to detour, burning energy. Calves lag behind. Mortality rises, yet their ecological role is irreplaceable. On the backs of buffalo, giraffes, rhinos, and hippos in Kenya, small reddish-brown birds are constantly in motion. These are oxpeckers. They weigh less than 2 ounces but play a critical role in maintaining the health balance of large hoofed mammals. Their hard, sharp beaks allow them to dig deep and remove ticks, botfly larvae, and other blood-feeding insects hidden in dense fur. A single adult oxpecker can remove several hundred ticks per day. On a herd of hundreds of buffalo, tens of thousands of parasites can be eliminated daily. As a result, host animals face lower risks of skin infections, bloodstream bacteria, and blood loss. Oxpeckers cling firmly using curved toes that grip the fur, allowing them to stay attached even when buffalo wade or giraffes browse. This mobility maximizes foraging efficiency. Ticks on buffalo, flies around rhino wounds. Oxpeckers have a higher field of vision than their hosts because they perch on elevated backs. When they detect unusual movement, such as a lion's crouched walk or the swishing tail of a leopard, they emit sharp, high-pitched calls. Sometimes they peck at the edges to keep the wounds bleeding. This behavior sustains an iron-rich food source for the birds, but delays healing and raises infection risk for the hosts. The severity depends on bird density per host and tick availability. When parasites are plentiful, wound pecking behavior decreases. Oxpeckers depend on two conditions: large herds of hoofed mammals and stable tick populations. They cannot find enough food on grass or shrubs like most insectivorous birds. Oxpeckers reduce parasite loads, improve host health, and suppress tick life cycles. This limits outbreaks of pathogens like spirochetes and protozoans. Healthier large mammals sustain larger herds, ideal conditions for oxpeckers. Small birds manage parasites. Large mammals support the birds, and both face reduced predator and disease pressure. Oxpeckers must fly farther to find new hosts, increasing energy demands. Along Kenya's coast, nestled between dry inland zones and the Indian Ocean, lie small tropical forests like Arabuko sock oak and Shimba Hills. Despite their limited size, these forests contain some of the most diverse ecosystems in East Africa. Many species here cannot be found anywhere else. One of them is the golden-rumped elephant shrew, a small mammal with an ancient evolutionary history. It lives in the forest understory, hunting insects and regulating pest populations. In the canopy above, Tana River red colobus monkeys feed on young leaves, flowers, and wild fruits. The greatest strength of these forests is their high level of endemism. Many species cannot survive outside this specialized ecosystem. In addition, the dense forest canopy helps regulate humidity, retain rainwater, prevent erosion, and stabilize local coastal climates. However, this specialization also makes the ecosystem extremely fragile. Agricultural expansion, tourism development, and deforestation have destroyed critical habitats. When forests are fragmented into smaller patches, many animals can no longer move or forage efficiently, leading to rapid population declines. Some exotic tree species planted as replacements alter the natural structure and disrupt food chains. Although small, coastal rainforests play a key role in maintaining biological balance along Kenya's shoreline. Losing them would not only endanger endemic species, but also remove a vital layer of natural protection for the entire coastal region.